think sometimes there's the stereotype or the misconception that volunteers are just there to plug gaps. Wherever you need them, you just put them there. But actually, we need to understand what it is that they find fulfilling so that we can give them a role that allows them to find meaning and also allows them to better help the beneficiaries. So our Chinese name is actually 𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗏 like sky, 𝗏 like friend. I'm Serene. I'm the volunteer manager at Filos. A lot of people don't know what volunteer manager does. So basically what we do is we recruit, interview, find a suitable volunteer for each role, and then engage them along the way on their volunteering journey with Filos. I was in the civil service for close to 8 years before this. Typically, to make the switch from civil service to social service does surprise some people. But for me, it's something that I knew I was always going to do. Unlike what most people think, social work is not the only entry point into social service. And for myself, working in recruitment, marketing, outreach work, this skill set translates very well to the role of a volunteer manager, and this is how I can best contribute.
So today is really more of an informal chat, so to get to know you a little bit better.
Different volunteers come in with different motivations. We will interview them to understand what they want to achieve so that we can give them a role that allows them to find meaning and also allows them to better help the beneficiaries. For example, if I'm recruiting someone for the reading room program, I would be looking for someone with interest to work with kids and want to help them grow. The person must have a certain level of English language competency and possess a certain energy level as well, because to engage kids is not easy. So these are some of the things that we'll look out for. Yeah. I actually grew up in a low-income family. My parents did not have much of a formal education, so they weren't able to read storybooks to me at night, and I grew up in a very predominantly Chinese-speaking environment. So when I entered primary school, I couldn't really speak English. I think the most memorable experience is probably my first day of primary school. I just remember myself as a 7-year-old standing in front of the entire class, trying to ask to go to the toilet. I was just repeating myself in Chinese to my teacher, and my teacher couldn't speak Chinese, so she was just staring at me blankly, hoping that I translate myself. It felt like forever before a classmate actually stood up and very kindly translated for me. To me, I feel that it must have been quite traumatizing when I was a kid for me to actually remember it till this day as my first day of school. So I feel like I can relate to some of the challenges that the children and the families face. I would like to be in a role that allows me to help a child like me or a family like mine. As a volunteer manager, I actually don't like it when people think of volunteers as free resource. A lot of programs on the ground today cannot run without volunteers, and we serve thousands of beneficiaries. I think they are very invaluable. Volunteers can tell when you invest your time and effort in them, and you don't just treat them as someone to plug the gap. We try to equip them with the skill sets that they need to serve better. So this includes training sessions, for example, befriending training or storytelling training, etc. It also motivates them, I think, to do better in their role. And when they face challenges, they feel more encouraged to actually come to you to ask for advice. What gives me the greatest satisfaction is knowing that the volunteers that we brought in were able to help meet our beneficiaries' needs. This can very well be helping a child learn to read or helping a senior feel less lonely through befriending. I see my role as being more indirect by having a very definite impact. This belief is what motivates me to keep going.